Well, it's official. The Atlanta Falcons signed the quarterback, Tua, formerly of the Miami Dolphins. And yes, he is officially an Atlanta Falcon. And we're going to get into it. But before I get started on that, I want to tell you guys to hit that subscribe button. Like, comment, and share. And tell a friend, tell a family member, tell whoever to support my channel.
Big as the Super Bowl.
Ladies and gentlemen, it is official. The Atlanta Falcons signed Tua Tagovailoa, formerly of the Miami Dolphins. He was cut by the Dolphins, and the Falcons signed him to a minimum contract of $1 million. And he's our quarterback for the season, Tua Tagovailoa. And yes, he's an Atlanta Falcon. And look, man, my thoughts on this signing for the Falcons getting Tua is it's all right. It's all right. Look, it's all right. It's okay. It's whatever. Look, man, am I jumping for joy that the Atlanta Falcons signed Tua Tagovailoa of the Dolphins? No. But here's the reality of the situation when it comes to the Falcons and this quarterback situation that they've been in. It is slim pickings if you're looking for a quarterback in this free agent market. It's just this. You're looking at the best options for the Atlanta Falcons. It's Tua. It's Kyler Murray. It's Geno Smith. And it's 41-year-old Joe Flacco. I mean, these are the options. And I guess you want to point to Malik Willis. And he ended up signing with the Cardinals. These are the options that the Atlanta Falcons have in front of them when it comes to the quarterback options. And when you look at the options available for the Falcons, you're talking about Kyler Murray. And look, out of the four after mentioned quarterbacks that I mentioned, or I guess Malik Willis, you want to count him. But out of all of these quarterback options that I mentioned, Kyler Murray is probably the best option. But it's not like Kyler Murray doesn't have his own set of flaws either. This dude has also been injured. He has questions about his leadership. He prefers to play video games as opposed to studying film. That's kind of been his MO, previously in his career. I don't know if he's gotten better at that or not, but the Cardinals decided to move on from him for a reason. And I think if you're committing to Kyler Murray, then you probably are just completely done with Michael Penix, because you gotta organize your offense to kind of cater around Kyler Murray's skill set, because Kyler Murray is a unique player. And besides with Kyler Murray, I think Kyler Murray's looking at the Vikings, who you could argue might be even a little bit of a better situation for a quarterback, considering they have Kevin O'Connell, who's one of the best offensive coaches in the league. They got Justin Jefferson, who might be the best receiver in the league. And so there's no guarantee that you're getting Kyler Murray, and so you got Joe Flacco, who's 41 years old. And you have Geno Smith, who's coming off a horrible season with the Raiders, who they just moved on from him, and he's 35 years old. And so where I'm getting to here is the options at quarterback are limited. And all you have left at this moment, all of these quarterbacks' flawed options, is you got Tua, who, Tua has durability concerns. His durability has been a train wreck in the NFL. It's like almost every year he's had head concussions after head concussions after just concussions and just upper body injuries at this point. And so it's tough. It's a tough situation for the Falcons with the options at quarterback. But the positive news is you got Tua for a 1 year, $1 million minimum deal. So you didn't pay him the money that you paid Kirk Cousins 2 years ago. Because had that happened, boy, y'all would not want to hear me on this episode if the Falcons had paid Tua Kirk Cousins money. Boy, I tell you. But the Falcons got him for cheap, super cheap. And so there's minimal risk involved. And also with Tua, look, he's 28 years old. He's young in quarterback years. He's still fairly young. It's not like he hasn't had no success in the NFL. He's had 3 straight years from 2022 to 2024 that he had a quarterback rating over 100. And so he had a year, I want to say, was it 2023 or 2022 or whatever, where he threw for over 4,000 yards. Granted, he had Tyreek Hill and Jalen Waddle as his receivers, but he did it. He was productive that year. And look, the MO on Tua is he struggles outdoors. He struggles in cold weather. Well, guess what? He'll be playing in a dome. He'll be playing in warm weather. He'll be playing in Mercedes-Benz Stadium. And so all of the weaknesses that he has playing outdoors, most of the time he'll be playing indoors or in warm weather. And so I think that could be a big plus for him. And I just think in general, man, like it's low risk, potentially high reward, right? And so at the end of the day, like it's basically between him and Michael Penix. Like I'll be honest, I have no idea who's going to be the starter on opening Sunday. Like I have no idea. I guess it all depends on Michael Penix's health. But I think this is going to be a competition. Like, I would imagine it's going to be a competition. And the thing with Michael Penix is, like, his career's been so up and down. Like, I think physically he might be better than Tua, but Tua's been more proven. Like, he's had more success in the NFL. Like, he's gotten the Dolphins to the playoffs before in his career. And so you can't dismiss that. He's capable of throwing accurately. And obviously, like, he's the guy that Ian Cunningham and Matt Ryan chose. Now, that's not to say they're going to give him a big contract and all that, but, like, they picked him. And Michael Penix is from the Terry Fontenot, Raheem Morris regime. And so I think this is going to be an open competition between the two. And I just think in general, man, like, when I look at Tua, like, for him, like I think the Falcons are a good situation for him because he'll be playing with Bijan Robinson, he'll be playing with Drake London, maybe Kyle Pitts will still be here, maybe Atlanta trades him to get some extra picks. I think the Kyle Pitts thing is up in the air a little bit. They made a couple of other moves at receiver. They signed a receiver from the Eagles. I can't remember his name. Forgive me, people, but. And they also got Zacchaeus, from the Bears. So the Falcons have made a couple of other moves at receiver, and I'm assuming they're going to draft another receiver or two in this draft, right? And so I'm anticipating a remade receiver room along with Drake London, who's one of the best receivers in the league. So you have him, and you have Bijan at least, and so it's not too bad of a situation if for Tua to walk into, and the offensive line has been solid, and so. I think he's in a good situation for sure. But man, look, man, I think for the Falcons, I think the way I'm looking at it is if one of Penix or Tua showcases that they're the guy, great. If neither one of them does anything, if Tua ends up being the guy and he showcases his talent, cool. If both of them end up being ineffective or injured, then guess what? In all likelihood, the Atlanta Falcons are going to have another losing season, and they'll win about 5, 6, 7 games, and they'll be in a position to, pick high in the draft and hopefully get a quarterback, or maybe they trade up and get a guy. And so at least that's what I would do. At least the way I would look at it if I'm the Falcons. Like if Michael Penix, if one of them steps up, cool. If neither one of them does anything, you're likely going to be bad, and you're likely going to be in a position to get a quarterback in the draft in 2027. And so that's kind of how I'm looking at things. But I mean, I'm not in love with this move, but I understand it. I understand the process of what the Falcons are doing. And look, man, I just think again, like the quarterback options in this free agent trade market are just limited. Like. It's just not a lot of. It's not like beggars can't be choosers. I would love for the Falcons to go after, I don't know, Justin Herbert or Lamar Jackson or Joe Burrow. Like I would love for the Falcons to go after these top quarterbacks, but they're not available. They're not on the market. And so the best quarterback options are Tua Tagovailoa. It's Kyler Murray. It's Geno Smith. Like these are the options we're looking at right now. And so out of these options, I can't be mad at the Falcons for going after Tua. Like is he flawed? Yes. Does he have injury concerns? Absolutely. Is his production on the field kind of been a little hit and miss? Yes. But look, man, he's had 3 straight years of having a quarterback rating over 100. He had a year where he threw for over 4,000 yards. He led the Dolphins to the playoffs. You look at his career completion percentages over like 65, 66. And so he's fine. It's okay. And look, for the upside of Tua, maybe there's a situation where you find lightning in a bottle, a la what the Detroit Lions did when they traded Matt Stafford and got Jared Goff. Jared Goff had a little bit of an up and down year with the Rams. The Rams moved on from him. They traded him to the Lions, and he's been a productive quarterback for the Lions. And the Lions have won games with him. He's been to the Pro Bowl, and even went to a NFC title game. And so who's to say that maybe Tua can't maybe have some success, kind of, sort of similar to what just Jared Goff had. Maybe, kind of, sort of. I don't know. I'm trying to cope with this move, people. I'm trying to think positive. But who knows? We'll see what happens. But all in all, man, when I look at this Tua move for the Falcons, I don't love it. I'm not thrilled, but I understand it. I get it. And you can do a lot worse than signing Tua to a contract, to a 1-year minimum salary deal. And so that's all I have. And hey, man, Matt Ryan, Ian Cunningham, hey, it is what it is. We got Tua as our quarterback, and hey, Tua, welcome to Atlanta Falcon Nation, man. I wish you success, and hopefully you can do something that I haven't seen a quarterback in my franchise do in 8 years. Get the Atlanta Falcons to the playoffs. That's all I ask. And we'll see what happens, and we'll see what the Falcons do moving forward when it comes to these other moves that they make and what they're making free agency and move forward in the draft. But hey, that's all I have, and I'll catch you guys in the next episode. Be back later. Talk soon. Peace.